Hi and welcome to my guitar series. In this series I talk about a specific guitar in my arsenal. I set it all up and then at the very end I play it through a setup. Very straightforward, no bullshit. Actually a lot of bullshit probably. In today's video I'm bringing out something that you guys probably have grown pretty fucking sick of in the past years. It's a stupid freaking Solar guitar. But this is just not any Solar. You know, this is one of the absolute first ones from our absolute first sample order that we did before we even announced or even launched the brand. So you may or may not know, but I started Solar Guitars together with my colleague Greg back in 2017, in November 2017. But we started working on this project years before. You know, starting a brand from, scratch up, it takes time and planning, an understatement of the biggest kind. Anyways, when we had a product program done and kind of set what we would offer to people whenever we would launch the brand, we ordered samples from a factory that we worked with before, and they made about 15 to 17 samples, one of each of our planned products. When you order from a factory, you also have to order like parts, and you also have to fit into their production schedule. So the process from ordering to actually seeing or having a product in your hands could be anything between 6 to 9 months. This first sample batch was made in February 2017, 10 months before we launched the brand. The first sample batch was shipped to me and Luis. We lived in the condo back then, and small place. We actually rented a guest apartment at the top of the building that we lived in for a couple of days to be able to have space enough to check every single guitar. And this is where we sat and analyzed what needed to change, or if we should go with other specs and features and so on. And among all of those guitars was this A1.6 Artist. Now the Solar Guitar Artist series is basically a guitar that I would pick up to use with the Haunted when I'm playing live with the Haunted, for instance. So it has the Evertune bridge, it has locking tuners, it's obviously black, because in my opinion there are no other colors than black. Maple neck, ebony fretboard, ash body, and since this was in the absolute start of the Solar Guitars brand history, we didn't have stainless steel frets. We had nickel frets on the 1 Series guitars as well. That is now a standard when you get a 1 Series Solar guitar. But the factory did such a good job with the nickel frets that I didn't feel that we needed stainless steel frets in the beginning. I was using this guitar live, and I also used it to write a fair bit of songs, and I did a bunch of videos in the beginning of the Solar Guitar history and the launch of the brand. It came with Duncan Solar pickups, but as of right now there's an EMG 81 in here, and this is an old ass EMG 81. I think that Kent put this in back in the day when I probably needed an EMG for a video or something like that. So that's in there right now. The guitar itself has a couple of dings and shows signs of use by old Englund the Swede, but it's holding up pretty well, must say. And also in the absolute first round we have this super satin finishes, and we later switched to semi gloss, which is like an in-between of satin and gloss, which just works a lot better. These super satin ones, if you have really acidic fingers and acidic sweat, it's a nightmare basically to kind of maintain the guitar and maintain the looks of the guitar. You can see right here at the volume now where I've done this. You can see there's kind of like a little bit finished right there. It looks fucking stunning with this gray see-through trans black deal right there. The strings are rusty. I'm gonna change them, and hello. I don't know if you can see here, but it has an old Englund signature truss rod cover. How about that? Okay, do any of these fit for Evertune bridges? Let's check. They do. Now to think of it, I think that this guitar initially came with what are those called? But like the self-locking mechanism. I think I changed it to these that we have now, which has to lock at the back there. But I think at first these had those locking versions that you just pull in the string and it just locks by itself. Now I'm not sure anymore, actually. Oh, okay. That happened. I forgot I have one of these. Like a real pro. Yeah. All right. This has just been hanging on a wall in the other room, where I record my swolas, and not getting any love, basically, which is sad. very sad days, man. Sad times. I'm gonna quickly clean it off before I put on a new pair of fresh strings. I hope this is on. Yes. There's a dog in between my legs, but that's okay. Look at that. Dude, as soon as all the dust is gone, this looks freaking amazing. Okay, I actually need to probably, clean this off with some boom, 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 boom. I lost the cap of the guitar finish, by the way. That's just how it is sometimes. I'm gonna use this just to rub off some of that gunk that Ola Englund the Swede has put on the fretboard because he used it a lot, and it's gonna be clean and nice. And while we were also working on the Solar Guitars launch and setting the company up, I also wrote the Haunted album Strength in Numbers, so I was very busy with that. And I remember, I wanted to use the guitars in the videos and all of that, but at the same time, it was a little bit too early to let people know about the brand. But eventually, by summer, a couple of months before Solar Guitars, we used the guitars in the videos. People were going ape shit. Both me and Jensen were using it. He was using the Type E, or did we have the Type E? Yeah, we had the Type E. So it was the first time people saw the Type E guitar. I was thinking of putting some lotion on its skin, or else it needs the hose again. But this is this fretboard does not need. It's very saturated right now. So I'm gonna find a bunch of strings. Let me bring out the string box, see what we can find. 8.5 sets. Okay. 10.5. Okay, what should we tune this to? Kind of want to do something heavy. Oh shit! Oh, what? Yes! Let's do this. 9.5 set to 48 right there. Check that out. 9.5 to 48. That's gonna be perfect, man. I wonder if it's gonna be perfect. And since this guitar has an Evertune bridge, one of my most favorite bridges in the whole wide world, whatever. This is gonna be quite an easy task for me today on the My Guitar series. Usually you get to see myself, squirm and scream working with a Floyd Rhodes bridge. I'm like, oh, f this, and everything takes forever. But this, I anticipate this will be quite quick of a process right here. I can save a little bit of media storage because it won't take as much time as a Floyd Rose guitar. I can save a little bit of media storage. Now, that's good for my hard drives. None of you guys will understand the struggle of media and hard drives that I keep on struggling with. It's terrible. I have so many external hard drives, you have no idea. I have to store everything. Okay, like even storing past videos. I need like hundreds and hundreds of terabytes for this. Just to, for the backups. And that's what I get for, editing and filming in 4K from, when was this? 2015. So I'm almost at the 10th year of 4K video. But, I always like the technology aspect of my video making and, being able to offer high quality and high resolution because, I'm just trying to future-proof myself. Maybe one day in a galaxy far, far away, someone buys Ultra HD TV and think like, hey, I also want to watch Ola Englund in 4K. We got the strings going through right there. One camera ran out of space, I think. And the good thing about having locking tuners, a lot of people are like, oh, why do you have locking tuners if you have a Floyd Rose, for instance, who is locking at the nut? Well, it makes stringing a lot easier. You can just lock that. Look at this, it just goes way faster with the locking tuners. Boom, ba dee boop, ba beep boo, lock little asshole right there, yeah. Like that. All right. Hello, can you, where's the camera that's working? Okay, so I have to check. I think all my cameras have been off this whole time. So if they have been, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what to do. We'll just have to figure it out. But if they worked for a second, I'm gonna string up this, tune it, and go and play it over here later, okay? All right, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but all the cameras basically died. And someone would say that, Ola, you should be more prepared. I say no. I like to live on the edge, like, like John Bon Jovi of Aerosmith. I tuned it to drop C with an Evertune, and the thing about the Evertune is that it basically takes no setup time. The only thing I did was that when you change the gauge of the strings and another tuning, it became a little bit more tighter. You have to adjust the truss rod just a slight bit. So I did that, and I have this guitar hooked straight up into my audio interface. Yeah, it sounds like this. And I see immediately on the waveform of this, I don't know if you can see this, but you can see there's a roof there. When I'm chugging, it's basically like G, which just goes to show that it's an active EMG 81. It's not as dynamic as a passive pickup. This is not anything new or anything. It's just like, yeah. But it is a nice tone, though. The thing about the EMG 81s that I think is actually really, really good, it can make a guitar player that has a certain finger tone. I have finger tone. That's why everyone says like my amplifier demos sound the same. It's because my finger tone is really shining through. In the same way as, when you hear Zach Wild playing, you hear it's immediately Zach. But with EMG 81s or active pickups, it removes some of that finger tone and makes it sound a little bit more generic. But in my case, I don't like my finger tone. So, an EMG 81 works great because it removes my finger tone a little bit. I remember when we spec'd all of this up, this was actually back in the Washburn days. I was like, okay, if we're doing like a seamless, backside of a neck right there, and we're not going the bolt-on route, what should I go with? Should I go with neck through, or should I go with set neck, or set through, or all of those? Basically, what we did is that we built a couple of different guitars with these different features. So one was neck through, one was set neck, one was set through. And when you speak about neck through in terms of when someone's speccing out a guitar or a custom guitar, or when they see the feature of neck through on a guitar, that's held in a very high regard because it's beautiful. It looks great on the back if it's like natural and all that, and that the tone of a neck through is just amazing. But in my opinion, I think a set neck and bolt-on sounds way better than a neck through. And this is just necessarily for Mel. A neck through guitar is a little bit more darker sounding, in my opinion. It gives a little bit more of a darker tone to it. It's not because of the woods or the tone, it's just the construction of the guitar. The set neck sounds more like a bolt-on, in my opinion. So if you would put it on a scale in darkness, if you had a hard tone versus a dark tone, you have neck through over here, set neck over here, and bolt-on somewhere over here. So, that really affects the tone. But if you're using EMG 81 pickups, no one's going to notice, I guess. But it's also a feel thing, obviously. I'm sick and tired of playing chugs. I'm going to play some cleans. Also, I remember now when I played that, I haven't routed the neck pickup at all. It's not even engaged. The switch doesn't do anything. It's always going to be the 81. Isn't that lovely? Call that laziness. Cool. Sounds good, man. And as I'm kind of releasing this My Guitar video, it's been 6 years since the official launch of the brand Solar Guitars. But this particular guitar is about 7 years old. So not necessarily that old at all. But it really means a lot to me, and that's why I have it up here on the wall, because it's one of those, you know, it's one of my first real creations from top to bottom under my own flag, you know? So it's really special to me, and, you know, that's why I keep it up there. Obviously, there were other samples as well being made, but this one just resonated most to me. You know, it's the black guitar, it's my, you know, my shape that kind of paved the way for everything, and, you know, the whole brand. It's just this is my guitar, you know? So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this little video right there. If you want to support my channel, you can buy Chug t-shirts like this from olaenglundshop.com. If you want to check out more My Guitar videos, I'll link it up here somewhere or after the video. I'll see you soon. Okay, goodbye.